Okay, hello guys. So good to see you all. So welcome to Gift of Health Food as Medicine 6-week course. And I'm so excited to see your lovely faces. And I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that because I know it's not easy, like given your busy schedule, it's not easy to be here and that too for 6 weeks. So I really commend you guys for investing your time and energy to be here. So I'm really glad to see you all, and I'm actually really excited for you guys too, because we are going to have an awesome journey. So are you guys ready for it? Okay. Okay. So we we actually have people from different countries. So believe it or not, we actually have people from 5 different countries that are actually zooming in for our session. And I know you are all in different time zone. For some of you, it might be just the bedtime, or for some of you, you must be just waking up, or it must be just afternoon there. So, and I recognize it's not easy. So really thank you for being here and showing your commitment for that. So for those of you who are meeting me for the first time, I'm Dr. Shobha Raipuri, and I'm a certified lifestyle medicine doctor. So I help people struggling with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and other common chronic conditions that you see. So I help people struggling with conditions to break free from these diseases, reduce their dependence on medications, and have more energy. So some of you might be wondering, oh, I never heard of the term lifestyle medicine. Is it like a functional medicine or an integrative medicine, or is it like some allied health? So let me tell you. So lifestyle medicine is a medical specialty that actually gives intensive therapeutic training for the common chronic diseases to actually address the root cause of the disease. Because if you see, okay, since we have people from like various countries, what do you think is the number one killer or the number one cause of death or disability in our world today? So what do you think? What do you think is the number one killer or cause of disability in our world today? You guys are welcome to, yes, so I see stroke, stress, heart disease. Yes. So if we have to club all of this, so these are chronic health conditions, right? So whether it is heart attack, stroke, like these are all chronic diseases which are the cause of death and disability for some. So unfortunately, yes, I see cancer, inflammation. So unfortunately, these conditions are diet and lifestyle related. So lifestyle medicine is a specialization of medicine which actually deals with those conditions. So like I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Okay. Okay. So like, okay, given that like we are in this course, like my goal is that you walk away with two things. Because I know like this course is not going to be a bunch of content that I'm going to throw on you, or some raw motivation that I'm going to provide it to you. So this is not the goal of the course. I mean, like when it comes to this 6 week, and if you're wondering like why 6 weeks? So my goal is very simple. One is I want you guys to walk away with the clarity of what to do when it comes to your health. And the second goal is to have the proven roadmap in your hands so that you know like what to do, what step to take when it comes to taking charge of your health. Okay, so are you guys okay with that? Yeah. So given that, so let us see like what we can do about it. So as I was mentioning, like when it comes to most common cause of death or disability, like chronic diseases are the leading cause of death and disability globally. And lifestyle medicine is a medical specialty that uses evidence-based whole person prescriptive lifestyle change as a primary modality to treat, and when used intensively, often reverse such conditions. So this is Kim, and she came to this Gift of Health 6 week course with her sister. So she actually accompanied her sister, thinking that I'm going to just maybe learn few recipes or do some healthy stuff so that I can try. When Kim came to the 6 week course, at that time, she was experiencing diabetes. She was also diagnosed with low iron anemia. She was also diagnosed with fatty liver. She had high cholesterol, and there were and she also had high blood pressure. So she was experiencing all these conditions. And after coming to the course, she was surprised to see like what she was able to accomplish. Needless to say, I mean, like losing weight was like one of the side effects, I would say. But she was amazed to see that she could actually reverse her diabetes. She was actually able to reverse her high blood pressure, and she was able to take care. I mean, she was able to reverse, she was able to up level her iron levels, and she was able to reverse her fatty liver disease and inflammation. So like what you guys are going to experience is, let me tell you, it's going to be very powerful. And for that, especially for this course, there are few things that are required, and I'm only requiring two things. So one is having an open mind, because you will be listening to a lot of things that are beyond conventional. So like whatever conventional medicine or like whatever you have been doing, you would be surprised that some of your uh, ideas may be challenged. So just have an open mind for it. And the other thing is open mouth, because this is an online course. When we did our in-person course, we actually served more than 60 varieties of meals in a buffet manner over the course of 3 days. And people were amazed to see that they were able to see their blood sugars getting down, their blood pressure getting down. But since this is an online course, unfortunately, like I cannot pass you the food that is cooked here, but I'm going to guide you step by step to do certain things. So over the course of 6 weeks, I recommend you guys try whatever we are showing. So I'm not going to leave you guys up in the air. So I'm not only going to give you the roadmap, I'm also going you to provide the skills to make that happen. And I'm also going to provide the support so that we can do this together. We are all in this together, and we are going to succeed. Okay. So, and as I said, you cannot see the transformation unless you take the action, right? So even like when you're attending the 6-week class, so I will be telling you like what action to take. So it's very important to know what action to take. And I have laid out those actions for the entire 6 weeks so that no guesswork is involved. Like literally, like I'm just going to let you know, okay, this day take this action, next day take this action. So like all those, I'm just going to hand over the roadmap to you in terms of like what steps you need to take. And I'm going to make those actions actionable, because like when you think of a one big action, it's very difficult for you to do. But the way the course is set up is it builds up on each class, because each class I encourage you to take one action, and it builds up for the next class. And when you just follow that and do that, you would be amazed to see that results. My promise to you is when you follow the roadmap and take the action, you are going to see the results, period. Like, yeah, you might say that is a big promise, but I have seen that happen for all my students who have taken action. And I love to reward people like who take action. So if you're wondering, okay, what is in it for me? So let me show you like what is that like you will be getting when you take actions. So first of all, for students who complete their forms. So here we are referring to their intake form, the 4-leaf survey form. And at the end of the course, we also ask you to fill certain forms, the graduation form, post-course survey form, and the feedback form. So when you fill this form, you will be winning Chef Age's Ultimate Weight Loss 21-Day Recipe Guide. And like what you would notice is, I know like being healthy, I mean, like whether it comes to reversing your type 1 diabetes or high blood pressure or want to lose weight, you could see that it's a one big goal. But what we have done is we have divided that into steps, or we call them as milestones. Throughout the course of 6 weeks, when you take this milestone, and for students who submit all the completed milestones, you win a 5-ingredient whole food plant-based cookbook. This is by Jennifer, and this is an amazing cookbook because it has just easy recipes which just uses 5 ingredients. And for people who complete their star chart, so this is how your milestone document is going to look like. And every one of you would receive this milestone document. And when you are completing your milestone document, and we also provide you with the weekly checklist, like what do you do on each day over the course of the 6-week period. So when you do these milestones, and students who post their food creations, because we would be showing you like how to make certain like how to make your breakfast so that you can reduce your blood sugar, how to create your meals so that you can reverse your chronic conditions. So students who post their food creations, including either you could do in the Facebook, and also for people like who are a little bit skeptical of Facebook, we also have provided a forum in the course site itself where they can post the pictures, or you can also email us your food pictures. And guess what? When you do that, you win Jeff Novick's Fast Food Burgers and Fries recipe book. And this is amazing. So when you're posting your wonderful creations, and every week, I would be guiding you to fill in your tracker. And for students who fill and send all their Gift of Health trackers, so for 5 weeks, when you send 5 weeks worth of your Gift of Health trackers, you win one-on-one session with me. And we also have a special Rockstar Award for students like who complete, like who do their coursework, who fill in their star chart, who fill in their trackers, who post their creations, fill in their forms, and send in their homework. We actually award a Rockstar Award. So, like as you can see, this person has sent their weekly trackers, has completed their milestone document, and has high course XPs. And guess what? You win the Plan-Based Cookbook by Ashley Madden, and it has 80 healing meals, and this is an amazing cookbook. So like as you can see, like you guys are in for a treat. So when you do the work, when you do all this, you will be rewarded, right? Because as you can see, like it I mean, transforming our health doesn't have to be boring and doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be fun. Okay, so let's have fun while we are doing this. So are you guys ready for the fun ride? Okay, okay. So when it comes so first of all, it's very important, like how this 6 week is going to be. Let me tell you. So I'm not only going to tell you like what to do, but I'm going to show you why. Why are you doing things in a certain way? So one is you're going to get clarity about what to do. And like as I said, I'm also going to provide the skills. So first week, what you would notice is like you would be learning about your body, how your body functions, how your mind functions, so that you know clearly like what to do and what not to do. And over the course of next 2 weeks, you are going to develop the skills. Like if you notice, how did you learn walking? You fell down, you got up, you practiced, 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 right? So over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, like you will be taking that action step, practice, 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 and you would be amazed that you are able to do that effortlessly. Okay. And one is you will be learning the skills of what to do, and you will be also finding loads and loads of support uh, to do that. Okay. So first of all, let us know like how does our body function, because without knowing this, it's very difficult for us to transform our health. So let me ask you this: what do you think you are made up of? Okay. Like you're welcome to unmute, or you're welcome to type in the chat. Like, what do you think you are made up of? Different type of cells. Good. Okay. So as you can see, irrespective of your color, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of where you come from, irrespective of where you are located, do you guys agree that you all belong to one species, that is human race, right? So you are all humans. Okay. Does everyone agree with that? That you are one species, that you are human. But did you know, just like you are a living, breathing species, there are around 500 to 1,000 different species that live on you and inside you. Okay, so even though you might be thinking that you are a single human, made up of a bunch of cells, you will be surprised to see that you are actually biodiverse. So if you look at, like, we are just one species, but we actually have 500 to 1,000 different type of species that live inside and outside. So we are biodiverse. And can you guess how many cells do we have in our body? Any guesses how many cells do we have in our body? Okay, so I see mitochondria, and so here, like, billions. Okay, so I see people saying there are billions of cells in our body. So guess what? When it comes to our human cells, okay, so when it comes to our human body cells, we carry 30 trillion human cells. But when you count the microbes too, the microbes actually have 39 trillion cells in our body. So you would see that these microbes line everything. I mean, they line our eyes, our cavities, our gut, and everything. And just the gut microbiome alone, they have 39 trillion cells. So you can actually call yourself that you're less than a human, because actually the microbiome cells are more than your human cells. So one thing is we host multiple ecosystems. And we might think ourselves that we are so complicated. Can you guess how many genes do we have? How many genes do we carry? As like, you might be thinking, oh, we are so complicated, right? But guess what? We have 20,000 genes. And guess what? How many do the microbiome genes? Yeah, I mean, just to make the math simple. So you might be thinking, oh my God, there are so many, so many zeros, right? Just to make it easy for you, 99% of our genome is microbial genetics. Only 1% of the genome is ours. So as you can see, we are less than a human. Okay, we actually have a microbiome code. And there is a reason why this living, breathing, tiny microbes are within us and outside us. What do you think their purpose is? Actually, over the course of 3 millions of evolution, these microbes have actually, they help us with digestion of our food. They help us with immune regulation. They help us with our metabolism. They balance our hormones. They actually dictate our mood. They are involved with our cognitive function, our genetic expression, and even response to drugs. So have you noticed, like, even though the same drugs are given to people, different people respond to drugs, respond to the same drug in a different manner? Why? Because it's based on the microbiome that they carry. And this, they also help us eliminate the toxins, and our craving, our taste preferences, or even our mating practices, they depend on the microbiome that we carry. So as you can see, this microbiome, they actually control everything about us. Yeah. And what do they do? Like, they, I mean, when it comes to the gut bacteria, we can actually divide the gut bacteria into the good and the bad. So when you are eating fiber, you would notice that your gut microbiome has a lot of good gut bacteria, which helps you with digestion. It protects your gut. It helps absorbs the nutrients. It produces digestive enzymes. It digests the fiber and actually prevents you from a lot of things. And it helps synthesize different vitamins like vitamin K, B12, riboflavin, thiamine. But what happens when you don't feed the food for the bacteria? What do you think is the food for your gut bacteria? What do you think is the food for them? Okay, I see here some answers. So What do you think? It's okay. Take a guess. Take a wild guess. What do you think is the food for your bacteria? The food we eat? Okay. I know like we eat a lot of food. Probiotics. Okay. Okay. So whenever I ask this question, so like I get answers like, okay, this bacteria eat probiotics, this bacteria eat sugars, this bacteria eat different things, or what we feed them. But did you know the food for this bacteria is fiber? Yes, fiber. So this bacteria thrive on fiber. And what happens when you don't provide their fuel? What do you think happens when we don't provide? Let's say if you buy a gasoline car, okay, and you don't provide gasoline but put diesel in it, is the car going to function? Is it going to function at the optimal level? So if it's a gasoline car and you feed diesel, so it may run for some time, but what you would notice is it's going to break down, right? So even like when it comes to bacteria, what they need is the fiber because that's the fuel that they rely on. But what happens when you don't give the food that they are meant to eat? Then we experience dysbiosis. And what you would notice is when it comes to dysbiosis, you would have a lot of host of conditions. I know this is a busy slide, but like what you would notice is dysbiosis associated with food intolerances, like it is associated with food intolerance, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, coronary artery disease, and also like endometriosis, breast cancer. I mean, if you go down the list, there is host of conditions that you would see. So unfortunately, like when you look at our current dietary pattern, it's very inadequate in dietary fiber. Like when the mean fiber intake, like when you study the population, and I know this provides the data for Americans and North Americans, but unfortunately, this is the case in many global countries as well. When you look at the mean fiber intake, like adult men, they are getting 18 grams per day when the minimum daily requirement is 38 grams. And when it comes to women, they get around 15 grams per day when the minimum requirement is 25 grams per day. So as you can see, it's very unfortunate. Like 95% of people get are deficient in this one vital nutrient. When your body is made up of this microbiome, and when you're not feeding them, you can imagine the state of your health. But when it comes to our food, what do we think? We hardly think of this nutrient. We hardly think of fiber. What do we think? We think of protein, 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 right? When we consume food, we think, oh, I'm eating this food so that I can get my protein. I'm eating this food so that I can get my calcium and all that. So let me tell you, folks, I have never seen a single case of protein deficiency. Have you guys seen or heard of anybody admitted to the hospital with protein deficiency? Have you guys heard of that? So let's say if I'm just going to hang this on my hospital, my ward is going to be empty. If I'm just relying, if a protein deficiency wing of the hospital is built. But unfortunately, what we are seeing is diseases because of excess protein. Okay, because like when you are consuming, so like when it comes to protein, what comes to our mind? That we need to eat any animal meat to get our protein. So guess what? When we eat those things, we experience, and these are all the conditions that we see due to high protein intake, like high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, heart disease, obesity, arthritis, acid reflux, and other gut diseases, and chronic stress. What you would notice is, did you guys know that these diseases are preventable? And let's say, even if you have them, they are arrestable and even reversible. Did you guys know that? But unfortunately, yes. Yes, Kelly? Yeah.
Hi.
Huh?
So, do you mind if I ask a question?
No, certainly you can ask a question. Go ahead.
So, I just want to get on track.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, you're not having good gut health because we're not intaking enough, maybe dietary fiber. People are eating too much protein, and if they have excess protein, then those are the problems that you're saying could arise. And example, I remember doctors saying to me, you should have like just a fistful, a little bit of chicken, but it should be double the amount of vegetables. So they were constantly trying to say to me, eat just a little bit of protein. Although everyone, as you know, is saying, wake up, be protein, this protein, protein. It's like but then the people that I've seen that's given up animal-based foods, they're looking good, like parts of my family. So I'm in this conundrum. So I'm glad we're speaking about this.
Yes, I'm glad you raised that question, Kelly, because this is a very important question that many people have. Because when it comes to protein, what do we equate protein with? So, what comes to our mind when we think of protein? We think that protein is all only present in animal meat, right? That is the first thing that comes to our mind when we think of protein. If I need to increase my protein consumption, what do I think of? Meat. We almost equate meat to protein. Okay, so that is one thing. So, and I have made a special session just on protein because this is such a vital question and important question. We will be delving deep into it. So I may not cover that in detail in today's class, but the short answer is, when it comes to protein, uh, animals are not the primary source of our protein. So, like if you think of it, like where are these animals getting the protein from? Plants are the only things on this planet that are capable of producing amino acids, essential amino acids. Our body is capable of producing certain amino acids, but our body cannot produce all the amino acids. That's why we need to take certain amino acids from diet. That's why we call them as essential amino acids. Plants are the only source under this planet that are capable of producing the essential amino acids. Animals also consume the plants to get those essential amino acids. So that is the short answer, but we will be delving deep into this. Okay, so hold on to that question. So that is one thing. So protein is present in food, and we can definitely eat food that has protein. The other thing is, when it comes to animal-based foods, it's very important to see what is our body designed for. Right now, like if you look at your cells, okay, you just got to know that, okay, you have more microbial cells, even though whether you would love to hear that or not, you actually have more microbial cells than your human cells. You are actually less than a human. So that is when it comes to your makeup of your cells. But when you look at your system, how are you designed? Are you designed to eat animal foods, or are you designed to eat plant-based foods? For example, um, let's say, like if you see a child And if you place a rabbit in front of a child, an apple in front of a child, what do you think it will eat? What do you think it will go for? So when you place this in front of a young child, it's it's so unfortunate that like we have been brainwashed that okay, so like we need to eat a certain type of food. But if you look at your system, you don't have claws to catch that rabbit, to shred that rabbit, to kill that rabbit and eat it. You don't have claws, you don't have teeth. So when you look at your structure of your teeth, and also when you look at the structure of your gut, how long do you think is your gut? So if you look at the carnivorous animals and also herbivorous animals, you would notice a difference. Carnivore animals, the gut size is just 1 or 2 times their body size. When you look at the length of the gut in carnivore animal, it's only 1 to 2 times their length of their body. But when you look at a herbivore animal, the length of their gut is almost 5 to 6 times more than the length of their body. So when it comes to your gut, how long is your gut? If you notice, your gut is almost 5 to 6 times lengthier than your body. Okay, so and when you look at carnivore animal, so when they consume the meat, what because of the shorter length of the gut, the meat actually comes out faster, and their digestive juices are more acidic in nature to digest the meat. But when you look at your digestive enzymes, you are designed to digest the carbohydrates, and your digestion starts right in your mouth. So there is an enzyme called ptyalin, which starts the digestion in the mouth when you chew your food. Have you noticed when you chew some rice, it is sweet in your mouth? Why? Because that ptyalin has converted that carbohydrate into sugar in your mouth. So when you look at your digestive enzymes, when you look at your length of your gut, nothing matches the carnivore type of like nothing matches the carnivore type of gut. When you look at the make, so when you look at the make and model of your human body, so one is your human body is designed to thrive on fiber. That's one thing. Your body is not designed for animal meat consumption or digestion. But let's say when you eat that, what happens? Okay, what happens? So do you want to see like what happens when you consume animal based foods? Because like a lot of us, we are under the misconception that we need to consume them, right? So like when you see this condition, okay, so let's say when you're diagnosed with either high blood pressure, diabetes, or cholesterol, or heart disease, when you go to the hospital, what happens? So let's say when you're diagnosed with this condition, when you experience the symptoms, what happens? The doctors run some test on you and they diagnose with a particular condition. And when you're diagnosed with high blood pressure, high sugar, they put you on drugs. Okay. And 3 months later, again, you go back to them and they again measure your blood parameters. And if they see that if your sugars or your blood pressure is not coming under control, what do? They do more tests and put you on more drugs. And what happens? Uh, Again, after you put on your more drugs, some of the drugs may be associated with complications. And when you get complications, what happens? They either put you on more drugs to evade that complication or perform some surgery on you. And ultimately, like, what you will be surprised that you experience disability and death. Yeah, this is such an unfortunate phenomena that we see in our current healthcare system. Do you see that? Like, okay, so just pop a pill and that symptom can be managed. This is what you mostly experience, right? Let me show you like what we see in the hospital. Like my husband, he's a surgeon and a gastroenterologist, and this is what he sees day in and day out. So is it okay if I'm going to share like what we see in the hospital? And I know this images may be a little bit gory, and but I want you to see like what actually happens, because it's very important for you guys to know. This is not to scare you, but this is for you to see the fact. Okay, so when it comes to, even though like we might think that our current system is healthcare system, but unfortunately it's actually a sickness care model. It doesn't promote health. So when people live with diabetes or try to manage diabetes, they undergo a lot of complications. So one of the complication is having the gangrene of the toe. This is a diabetic foot, and we also see like even when it comes to their wounds, it doesn't heal easily. And unfortunately, a lot of people end up losing the toes and legs and end up in amputation. This is another case. Like here you're seeing the growth of a polyp inside a colon, and and eventually this polyp grows into cancerous condition. So this is a common conditions that we see in the hospital. And like when it comes to surgical conditions, like a lot of people come with appendicitis, like inflammation of the appendix, and a lot of people come with colon cancer. And unfortunately this cancer, it spreads to different, so here we call this as metastasis, where it has spread to different organs. And a lot of people come with breast cancer. And the other common thing that we see is gallstone, gallbladder attacks. And this is like, let me show you, like this is a inflamed gallbladder that has been removed. And here, like you would see the inflamed bile, like in the bile inside the gallbladder, you could see like it's like very purulent, dark, and you can see the stones. And what do you think is the cause of the stones? Like when you look at our diet, what do you think causes this cholesterol, this gallbladder stones? The stones are nothing but they are made up of cholesterol. Like when your cholesterol forms into lumps, and when the main job of the bile is to uh, digest the fat, right? So when the cholesterol is not dissolved, they form into lumps and they form into different types of stones. So you would know now the stones are washed, and you could see like there were so many stones formed inside the gallbladder. And due to this, there was gallbladder obstruction, and this patient experienced severe pain. And when that happens, what do you want to do? You just want to remove the gallbladder so that you can be pain-free. You would notice different types of stones. This is again, like you could see in different shapes, different colors. And sometimes we get called to the hospital because a chicken bone has been stuck inside the esophagus, or a fish bone, or sometimes a chicken bone. And unfortunately, like when we see patients in the hospital, if they are above 50, they are on 5 medications. And I mean, they just carry the pills and everything. But what I'm here to tell you that it does not have to be that way. And we have experienced so many cases just with our course participants. As I was telling you about Kim, like so when she came to the 6 week class, the second picture is after the 6 week class, but this third picture is after 1 year. So she also took our 1 year course, and this is the transformation she was able to see. So Kim, she was like, I saw my blood glucose, cholesterol, blood pressure levels drop to normal, and my fatty liver disease disappear. I lost I lost 50 pounds and have been maintaining my weight loss. This summer, I hiked a mountain that I have not been able to do so in 20 years. I learned the importance of self care. This has given me the capacity to care for my family. Okay. So, just like Kim, I want you all to win the game of the health. Okay. So, when it comes to winning the game, let me tell you. Okay, so we all set our goals and vision, right? But do you think just setting your goals and vision is going to give you the results? No, right? So let's say even in this class, you're just going to say, oh, this is what I want to achieve, but just having the goals, only 10, if you just put down your goals, only 10% of you are going to, or there is only 10% chance that you're going to see the results if you just only set your goals. But if you have a clear and actionable plan and consciously commit to realizing them, your chance of winning the game is 25%. But we are not happy with 25% chance, right? Like we want to increase our chance of winning. But when we commit to someone else that you're doing it, your chance of winning increases by 65%. Again, we are not happy with 65% of the results, right? Like who here wants 100% of the results? So, what do you think you need to do to win the game and increase your chances? So, one is when you set an accountability appointment with the person you have committed. Okay. So, in this 6 week course, we are not only going to set the goals. Okay. What we are going to do here is we are not only going to set the goals, but we are also going to know what action to take over this course of 6 weeks. Okay. Every week you would know what action to take. So committing to do that action. And the other thing, what we are going to add to it is we are going to form buddies so that we are setting an accountability with our buddy. Okay. And the fourth thing, and the important thing, is we are going to set up an accountability. What are we going to do? Appointment. Okay, we are going to set up an accountability appointment. And what I'm suggesting is that you have an accountability appointment with me. As long as you show up for every class. And as I said, each class builds upon each section so that you're able to take action. As long as you show up for every class, as long as you are taking the actions that are listed in the milestone document, there are only 19 actions that are listed on the milestone document. And when you take those 19 actions, okay, you would be amazed to see the results. And as I said, setting up the accountability is very important. So that's what we are going to do for our 6 week course. Because as I said, I'm not here to throw a bunch of stuff on you, bunch of content on you. What I'm here to do is what brings the result. Okay. And as I said, only when we take action, we get the transformation. Yes, Kelly, you had a question?
Sorry, I'm a question girl.
It's good.
I was wondering, how did you come up, because you said each one builds on the next. How did you come up with the sequence? Are you looking, we're starting from one frame, a base frame, I guess, and then moving forward. What would that look like and why?
Yeah. So let me show you the milestone document, and we are just going to take one action now so that you are able to see what is that we are going to do. So this is how. So as I said, like you have this milestone document, and let me go ahead and show you the milestone document so that. Okay, this is how your milestone document looks like. Okay, Vanessa, can you put in the chat? So what we are going to do is we are going to put the Google milestone document. So you copy that Google Doc, make a copy for yourself, and then you can relabel with your name. And when you fill that milestone document, like you can send it to us. So your first milestone is, what are your health goals for the 6-week Gift of Health program? So here you're going to take a moment to write down your goal. Okay, so we are going to do this right here in the class. So uh, when it comes to this milestone document, like we are also providing you with the PDF, because some people, they feel that, okay, like I was not able to download, or I'm not comfortable typing in the computer. So we are also providing you the PDF document, which you can print and handwrite it if that is comfortable for you guys. Or if you guys are comfortable, you could just fill in the Google Doc. Vanessa, could you post the Google Doc in the chat so that like people can just grab that? And remember, like this document, we have also sent you in the emails, like for today's kickoff call, we sent you this milestone document, we sent you the star chart. So for every class, what I recommend is that you bring in your star chart, because at the end of the class, whatever action we have taken, we are going to mark in our star chart. So that is one thing that we are going to do. And also, we are, you can also bring your milestone document to every class so that you can fill. So here, Vanessa has posted the Google document. So when you click that, make sure you make a copy of it. Rather than using that document, make a copy for yourself, and then you can type in. Okay, so let us take a moment and write down your goals. So let's say if you don't have the milestone document with you in front of you, just take a pen and paper and write down, so that, and then you can copy back your answer to your milestone document. So let
Can
us
I
take.
make a can I
Uh-huh.
make a suggestion? When you're making a copy, just make sure to put your name in the title as well, so that when you're sending it back to us, then we know who you are.
Yes, yes. Okay, so just write down what your health goals for the 6-week. And this document is very self-explanatory. It will tell you what to do. Just write down what your health goals. Is it reversing your type 1 diabetes? Is it losing weight? Is it reducing your medications? Is it having more energy? Is it learning to cook healthy plant-based meals? Like whatever is your goal, just write it down.
Dr. Shobha, you're on mute.
Typically, like, thank you, Vanessa, for letting me know. I'm like, yeah, I was just chatting away. So, so before I was muted, I just said, like, let us wrap this up and let us see like what we can do. Okay, so okay, let's get back to it. Okay, so what I was saying is, unfortunately, what we see nowadays is a sickness care model, even though we want to say it's a healthcare model. So here, over the course of 6 weeks, what we are going to do is we are going to educate you about food, how your body functions, how your mind functions, how disease happen in your body. And we are going to clear a lot of confusion about the diseases, about the food. And at the same time, you're going to be empowered about how to cook, how to shop, how to read a nutrition label, how to eat while you're outside, how to deal with cravings. And also, you will be learning how to create an environment that actually supports your growth. That is going like, how do you create an environment at home? How do you deal with work or online or people? And all this is provided with support so that you can get results. Okay. So, like, one of the questions that you guys had was, okay, what's wrong with eating animal foods? Okay, because I have been so drilled that I need to consume animal food for protein, for calcium, and other things. When you look at animal foods, so even by health guidelines, when it comes to saturated fat, they recommend that your saturated fat should not be greater than 10%. Guess what? When it comes to animal foods, the saturated fat content is more than 30%. It ranges from 30 to 50%. When you look at dairy, it almost is 60%. So when it comes to animal foods, they're high in saturated fat. They have cholesterol, which is not good for you. And when it comes to animal protein, it increases your IGF level. I'm going to talk more about animal protein. As I said, there is a separate session on this, so hang on to that. The other thing is so much bacterial overload. And so, like, if you leave a piece of meat on your kitchen counter, can you walk in after a few hours? If you, or even the next day, can you walk in if you just leave the piece of meat on your kitchen counter? What does happen? It rots. Yeah, there's so much bacterial activity, and that's what we call as endotoxemia. So when the meat rots inside your body, so there is a lot of bacterial endotoxemia. So that is what you experience, like when you're consuming. Your body has to work hard to fight that bacterial overload and endotoxemia. Of people who consume animal foods experience gout, kidney stone, autoimmune disease, arthritis. And the other thing is, animal foods, they have no fiber, they have no phytochemicals, they're low in vitamins and minerals, and they are low in antioxidants. Whereas when you look at the plant foods, guess what? They're high in fiber, which your gut bacteria loves. They're high in antioxidant. They're high in phytochemicals. There is no cholesterol, and there is just the right amount of protein that your body needs. And this plant-based foods help you to prevent and reverse disease. But one of the common concern when we think of getting to plant-based foods, what we think, oh, will I get enough nutrients? Okay. So I know, like, I'm beyond class time, but is it okay if I just take 5 minutes to cover this concept? Or would you like me to do it in the next class? Are you guys okay for next 5 minutes for me to cover this concept? Okay. So Okay, when you one of the common concerns that we have is, will I get enough nutrients? Okay, so let us see. So what we are going to do is we are going to take 500 calories of each type of food. Okay, so we are going to take 500 calories of animal-based food. We are going to take 500 calories of whole plant foods, and we are also going to take 500 calories of processed plant foods. Okay, so in animal foods, I'm taking 100 calories each of milk, chicken, salmon, butter, and eggs. Okay, so total 100 calories each, it makes 500 calories. And when it comes to whole plant foods, I'm taking 100 calories each of oats, black beans, apples, spinach, and flax seeds. And when it comes to processed plant foods, I'm taking 100 calories each of white pasta, Coke, potato chips, chocolate chip cookie, and donut. Okay. Now let us compare the nutrient profile. So here you would see that you have the nutrient profile for animal-based food, whole food, plant-based in the middle, and at the right end, you have the processed plant foods. So let us see one by one. So when it comes to iron, you will be surprised to notice that actually whole food plant-based have more iron than the animal-based foods. What does your doctor recommend when you're low in iron? What is the first thought that comes to you that you need to consume? You need to eat red meat to increase your iron, right? So here you would see that when it comes to processed plant foods, they have less iron than the animal-based foods. So you want to actually rely on whole plant foods, not the processed plant foods when it comes to iron. When it comes to calcium, again, which food group has highest calcium? As you can see, it's the whole food plant-based. And when it comes to protein, which food group has highest protein? Yes, definitely you can see that animal-based foods trump, and it has more protein when compared to processed plant foods and when compared to whole plant foods. But guess what? What do you think happens to the excess protein? Do you think your body can utilize the excess protein? Somehow we think that whatever protein we are consuming, it's going into our muscle mass. It would be so nice, right? Because with the amount of protein that we are consuming, we could be walking Schwarzeneggers, but that's not the case. What happens? Your body doesn't have the mechanism to store the protein. It has to get rid of the protein, right? So as I said, there is a separate class on it, and I will go in further detail. But for now, just know that you just need the optimal amount of protein, not excess protein, because excess protein is going to cause a lot of trouble. And when it comes to fiber, guess what? Animal-based foods have zero fiber, and whole plant-based foods have a lot of fiber when compared to processed plant foods. Similarly, vitamin C, whole food plant-based have a lot of vitamin C, a lot of folate. And when it comes to cholesterol, whole plant foods have zero cholesterol. And processed plant foods also zero cholesterol. And this is how junk vegan food is promoted. Like when you look at potato chips, how do they advertise potato chips? They say, oh, zero cholesterol, buy me. What are you waiting for? Right? And when it comes to saturated fat, again, animal-based foods are rich in saturated fat, whereas when you compare whole food and processed plant food, they are low in saturated fat. And when it comes to trans fat, whole foods do not have the trans fat. Whole foods do not have the trans fat, but animal-based foods have trans fat, and even processed plant foods have trans fat. So you should be beware of this. And when it comes to vitamin B12, there is a separate session on this, which I'm going to cover. So vitamin B12 is something that is neither produced by the animals or the plants. But as I said, I'm going to just cover this in detail in separate session. So if you have star chart in front of you, just take out the star chart, and in the class, since you have set your health goals, weight loss goals, put a check mark on setting your health goals or weight loss goal. And if you have filled in your intake form, so like in the email, we have sent you a bunch of forms, intake form. The reason we ask you to fill in the intake form is to know your starting point, because when you want to measure your progress, you have to know where you started and how far you came, right? So by filling in your intake form, you are knowing your starting point. And there is another 4-leaf survey form which we asked you to fill. So if you have filled that, place a check mark. And you have identified the foods that hurt your body and mind. Okay. And identifying right fuel for my body to heal. So we are going to cover this in depth. Watched Forks Over Knives and posted my aha moments. So one of the pre-actions that you guys were given was to watch this documentary. It's a 90-minute documentary. You can watch this over the weekend, and after you have watched this, you can put a check mark here. And you also know which food group has the highest nutrients. So you can put a check mark here and know where to find my course materials and bookmark my site. So all of you in the emails, you have received your course site information. And let me just briefly show you like, okay, so let me pull this up. So each one of you have received login information for your course site. So hope this is, I'm just going to briefly show you how your course site is going to look like so that you know. So in your emails, you have received an ID and password. So with that, you should be able to log in into your course site. One thing, what you would observe is you will find the dashboard, trainings, tracker, and all the replays would be posted here. And you can find the schedule for the 6 week and the resources. And under post your food creations, this is where you can click and post the pictures of your food. And during each milestone, we let you know what to do. And this is the place to go for and posting those creations. You also see a timer on your dashboards, which lets you know how many days are left for you to accomplish the mission. And in your course site, you are rewarded for taking every action. For example, when you bookmark this membership site, like when you check, like you get experience points. So like when you take action, so bookmarking the site, like you could just go like here, you could see when you bookmark on your laptop or computer, it's very easy for you to find the course site rather than logging in every time. Okay. So just performing that action, and so you gain points. You can see you're earning 1 XP points, marking your calendar and joining the Facebook group and completing the forms is giving you points. So it's very, as you could see, and for person who gains a lot of points, you are rewarded. So let me tell you, when you're gaining these points, we actually donate $100 for the points that for the each point that you're gathering. We are donating $100 so that people are able to take this course. Just like this course has been offered freely for you, it was made possible because of the previous student actions. When you are taking actions, and let's say when like this course has 270 points, and when you gain that 270 points, so you are almost contributing $27,000. And that is making it possible for the next for the program to be delivered free to people like who need this. So as a collective, so we just collect the points from the whole class, and that's what we make the donation to the Gift of Health. So that's another reason for you to collect the points. So one is you are awarded, and also like based on your actions and contributions, other people are being rewarded as well. Okay, so I'm just going to stop here. And as I said, like each session builds up on, like you will be having a lot of questions. What about this? What about that? So you can definitely go to your course site, because under module 2, nutritional myth, you can watch those videos, because whenever you have question about what about this, what about that, the answers are provided there. So that is a place to go. And as I said, whatever questions you have, hang on to that, because there is a session dedicated to that particular question. And by the end of 3 weeks, if you feel that your questions have not been answered, feel free to ask me. Okay. So as I said, like each session will be building on. So any questions before we wrap up? Yes, Kelly, go ahead.
Sorry, I tried once again to get into the site, but for some reason it's not letting me. So I'm gonna try turn my yep.
So
Let me
like,
add
are you
27 again.
logging in from your phone, or are
Yes.
you? Oh, okay. Okay. So one thing is, we
It used to work. Used to
yeah,
work.
yeah, it works on the phone as well. So what we are going to do is, we are going to send your personal link to your email, Kelly. So
Yes.
that way it will just help you to log in if you're having any login issues. So we'll send an email to you. And yeah, any other questions?
And do you suggest it says open with app and continue with browser? So I
Okay,
know with
yes.
Marissa's class, when I
Yes.
used the app, they were like, it's better to use,
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yes,
What's your
yeah, yeah.
thoughts?
So, like when it comes to this, you are welcome to do either one of them. Like you can definitely use the app, or if you think it's more comfortable for you to use the other feature, you can also use that. Like both of them are okay. And but whenever you're doing, just stick to one. So if you're just used to doing the app, you could just go on app. What happens is with the app, let's say if you're having other programs too, it's better to choose the other option instead of app, so that you can actually go into this course site. Because with app, what happens is it's only sticks to one course. It's difficult for you to go to other course unless you log out of that. Okay, so the second option might be better for you instead of the app. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. Yes, so yes, as you can see, we are beyond the class time. Was today's session helpful? Good. Okay. So I'll see you on Thursday, same time. So it's 1:30 Newfoundland time or 12 p.m. Eastern time zone. And so I'm going to see you on Thursday. And Thursday, we are actually going to see how diseases happen in the body. And based on your intake form, I'm going to cover the diseases that this class is experiencing. Okay, so that's why I encourage you guys to fill the intake form, so that I can know like what diseases to cover in depth. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do on Thursday. So we'll see you on Thursday. Have a wonderful rest of the week today, and see you guys. Okay, bye bye.